with it is this. I've had so many people, and I don't get it much anymore, but especially when I was taking my videos, they would come up with any possible explanation, whether it made any sense or not, and then they would just hurl it at me violently sometimes, and be so certain they were right, and they just weren't. So it's really hard to know if you can believe people or not. What I usually tell people is use logic. If it makes sense what they're saying, I don't know, guys. Can't you tell when you're being lied to? That's a sad thing, I think, because of TV, people can't. But you'll hear at one point in me and David's interview, we didn't talk for more than... We actually talked for about 15 seconds, and I was going to talk to him for a minute, just introduce myself before we started the interview, but I was already getting such good stuff, I didn't want to miss in the interview and have you guys miss out. I said, let's just start it up. So this is really the first I know of David for the most part. He sent me his videos, and David's story was featured on phantomsandmonsters.com, which is another great site, guys. A gentleman there named Lon has a blog, and Lon approached me offering to put my stuff on his blog there not too long ago. And what actually happened is I saw he had to make some comment defending himself that he wasn't some sort of shill for me, which he probably didn't even care about, but I felt kind of bad about it. So I didn't want Lon to lose his own viewers. So to be honest, that's why I stopped sending him. I'm going to send this back his way. I'm sure that probably wasn't what he wanted, but I just felt bad that he was having to defend himself against that. He's a really good guy, and it sounds like helped David out quite a bit here, too. But anyway, I'll put a link up on the forum on the website, www.ufozone.ning.com, and that'll be in the forum. I'll put that up under the radio show section. That will be a link to Lon's blog, and you can click on that, and you can go see all the pictures that David has up there. And the one video he has of the little being standing in the doorway is just absolutely incredible. You can't miss it. Some of his other pictures, they ended up a lot like mine, to where it was really, really tough to make out where they were unless you were there and you've looked at it really hard. Some of them David took the time to sketch out so you can see where the beings are, because they are translucent sometimes. Some of his are not in any way, shape, or form, though. So anyway, we're going to take a real quick break, play a little music. We're going to come back with David Eckhart. Stay tuned, guys. You guys are going to love this interview. And again, if there's anybody who gets this, that knows the guy in Cleveland talking about these, we'd love to have him on the show next week. Let me see what I can do to round him up. But if anybody knows him, or if he happens to be a listener, shoot me an email, bud, and we'll get you on. Because I'd like to talk to him, because he got through to mainstream media, man. That's good for him. Good for him. He's certainly not the first one taping these, though. Miss Allison Cruz was the first one to make this big, followed by a lot of other people, including myself. But he got through to mainstream media, and he does a great job talking. He's a likable guy. My guess is he better look out, because somebody's going to quote-unquote officially debunk this soon, would be my guess. They always come up with something to say, and hopefully, hopefully he won't have people ridiculing him for the rest of his life because of this, because he's made himself so public. I'm kind of worried for him about that, but he knows what's going on. He knows what he's seeing, as do I. So anyway, if you know him, please get a hold of me. Same thing with if you're in MoveOn. I'd really like to talk to you about some of the organizational stuff you have going on, just from an outside point of view. I'd like to tell you some of the horror stories I've heard about you guys too, not just Allison Cruz. So, all right, everybody, you're listening to the AlienPhotog radio show. Hey, again, go check out the official home of the Space Chicken, www.ufozone.ning.com. If you want to shoot me an email, it's alienphotog@gmail.com. And I do my absolute best to get back to everybody. Honestly, it's become really hard lately. I'm just getting a ton of mail, so keep resending it to me if I don't answer you. I have other stuff going on too, but I love hearing from people, and I try to get back to everybody, and it's been kind of slow the last couple of weeks, and I feel terrible about it because I said, hey, everybody write me. I'm lonely. So, sorry, guys. But please write me, and just continuously resend it. If I don't get to it, it'll get to me sooner or later. But if it's been a week and you haven't heard back from me, resend it. Get it back up at the top of the inbox there, because I'll start answering. I go down and get through 4 days worth, which is a lot, and don't get much further. So it kind of gets lost after some time. All right, Space Chickens, seriously, check out that website. It's awesome. It's like a Facebook site for people who are interested in aliens and UFOs. There's video, there's music, there's audio on there. You can upload your own stuff. You can create your own page. Make some friends with people who are also interested in this, or if you know you're an abductee or contactee. If you're even so much as generally awake, and I won't elaborate on that, because if you're awake, you know what I'm talking about. But go there. There's a tremendous group of people. It's kind of a unique little site we have up there, and people are really enjoying it, and I think that's awesome. All right, Space Chickens, we'll be right back on the AlienPhotog radio show.